Alright, welcome back everybody to the Risky Strats 1v1 Regicide only tournament. We are back with Game 2 between Redzalio and Joshua. They're playing in the same colors, Green Gamma and Yellow Delta. So hopefully they get some good spawns here so we don't have to restart this game. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and forfeit. Yellow spawns here, green spawns there. They are fairly close once again. But it looks like both players are probably going to stay with their spawns. Let me go ahead and ask them. Well, no response, but it looks like the players are going to play on unless we see a re within the next few minutes here. So let's take a look at these player spawns. Up at the north of the map, we have Redzalio playing as Gamma, green, and down to the south, well, sort of in the middle south of the map, we have Joshua playing as the Yellow Delta. Now, Joshua spawns sort of in the middle of the map, so he does have all of this area down here, but he does have quite a bad spawn, I'd say. This big gap right here doesn't really allow for very much spreading. But then again, Redzalio does have the same area right here. This whole gap is going to prevent easy spreading in that direction. He's going to force him to go either this way, which looks like a pretty good direction to go, or out this way. So we'll see what the players decide to do. It looks like Joshua has a 6 power plant set up, and it looks like Redzalio has a 6 as well if he's going for this one, which it looks like he will. But I think Redzalio actually got off to a slightly faster start, so we'll see. Apparently, according to chat, they are actual brothers. I did not know this about the players. Or it was just a joke that I fell for because I'm stupid. That's funny. Well, maybe it's some sort of inside joke that I'm not getting into, but the players just are having fun. And I definitely appreciate that. They can have fun even in this kind of tournament where there is prize money. I think most of the players in this tournament are definitely more after the pride. More after the I won the Risky Strats tournament rather than the actual prize money. At least that's what it seems like to me. So hopefully these players are definitely playing their hardest and trying to do their best to win this tournament. So it looks like Redzalio has finished up his factories and he's going to start stacking for that power plant. And Joshua is actually behind by 1. He needs to keep up. I don't know if he's talking too much or if he's just not playing as hard as he can, but he's 1 factory behind. Or at least that's what it seems like. He's got 4 built factories in his capital, whereas we've got 5 built factories over here. But they're both stacking for their power plant. Joshua not even bothering for that last factory. Maybe he's going to chain? I don't think that would be a good idea here. Maybe. I think that's a bad idea if he wants to chain that, but he's not building a factory on it, so maybe he's just... Maybe his ideal strategy is to go with less factories before stacking. Because it seems like, I think that's what he did in the last game as well. Well, let's take a look at where they're going now, because it looks like this power plant is finished, this power plant is finished, and yes, Joshua is sending all of his units down, possibly for chain, or maybe he just wants to do a factory there and spread in that direction. Looks like Redzalio is going to spread over to all this juicy area down here where everything's completely interconnected, and you could probably chain 3 power plants and get away with it because of just how many connections there are down there. That is absolutely insane. It could be such a powerhouse if he just fills that area up with factories and power plants. Joshua just filling that with a factory right there, and he's actually going to spread more to the north side, which I think is a smart decision. I think there's a lot better land up there that you can get to. Not much down here until you get to the real far south, where you have like this area and this area right here for connections. But they are once again fairly close. They're actually only a few tiles away. So once they start finishing up their second power plant, it's likely that they're actually going to encounter each other. Assuming that Joshua goes for this on a factory, which you should do after getting his second power plant up. This should become a factory. And then Redzalio is going to take over all of this land, probably including this dot, and they will see each other. But it's going to be a pretty quick game again, I'm assuming. I'm going to move myself right into this gap right here. Oh, and they should be seeing each other now. Joshua sends out a 27 as a scout. Redzalio definitely sees that because he has units here, and he starts piling everything in this direction. He was going to go for a third power plant, and if he was brave, he could, but I think that'd be a waste of units, and he would run out of units for military. Joshua sending over to stack. Redzalio saying, really, I'm assuming he hates the early game fight kind of thing. Joshua going for the stack. Redzalio sending a 3k over to fight it, but I don't think that's actually enough, especially with that fort there. He needs to retreat back right now. That's a really bad fight. There he goes. He's starting to retreat. Gonna have to retreat that 500 as well as soon as possible. Yep, he gets it out of there. And now it's just a stacking war, which Joshua always seems to have the advantage in these type of early game battles. Joshua playing super aggressive as usual, taking as many dots as he can, looking for any opportunity to take one of these factories and turn it back into a fort. Just taking away all of the progress that Redzalio has created. Ruining as much production as possible in the shortest amount of time. He wasn't able to turn that one into a factory, and in fact, he's just going to lose units there, which is unfortunate, but Redzalio is saying, this is how you'll kill me, by early war. That is a good point. If Joshua can get lucky like this and get these early wars, he will win 2-0 if he wins this game. Joshua taking this, but actually gets trapped again. Joshua taking another bad fight there, losing a good amount of units. As well as losing a few units to this fort right there. He's going to go forward again with the 10k. This is progressing very, very quickly. Looks like the micro on these players is both pretty good, trying to avoid as many bad fights as possible. Looks like Redzalio has been setting up traps, trying to trap as many units from Joshua as he can. As Joshua gets very aggressive and tries to push in and take factories. Redzalio is saying GG since it's just an early war. Sorry, misunderstood that. Generally when a player says GG, you're assuming they're resigning, but it looks like they're going to play on Joshua actually getting in artillery, getting super aggressive. Gonna look to try to take that center spot and then push into the economy here. But Redzalio is standing strong. He's got a very, very good defense here. That fight is really good for Redzalio again, outnumbering Joshua by quite a bit. And causing Joshua to lose a lot. Joshua taking some really bad fights this game. He actually might have a stronger economy, I think. I think he might be ahead by a few factories. I actually haven't counted this game. But looks like Joshua looking up for that capital. Just taking another route around. Forcing these forts from Redzalio. Forcing the defensive play. Looks like Joshua might have a disconnect. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It looks like he's still playing, so hopefully we don't get a disconnect here. all of this aggression from Joshua seems to be paying off. He's been able to take this power plant and all these factories on the side after forcing Redzalio to retreat so many units to defend against this 10k. And Redzalio just has nothing at this point. It's 22% versus 7%. And this game is looking over more every second. And Joshua could always go up around and take that capital if he was really sneaky, but he doesn't know exactly where it is. Redzalio putting everything he has into this defense, but it's probably not enough. This power plant is gone, and all of the production that he had down here is now gone, given to Joshua, giving Joshua triple the production of Redzalio. And this game is looking like it's about to come to a close, as Joshua is about to find out exactly where that capital is. And he won't even have to sneak around. He can just push through the front with all this extra production he's got now. But no, it seems like Joshua's going to disconnect. Right, so it seems like we're going to have to count that last game as a blank spot, basically. I'm still going to leave it in the video in case anyone wants to watch it, but here is the official game, hopefully, as long as the players don't decide to restart for whatever reason. Here we go. Once again, same colors. Joshua playing as Delta, Redzalio playing as the Gamma. Let's forfeit. Hope for some good spawns. Yep, it looks like the players are... Oh, Joshua's about to forfeit. No, he didn't forfeit. He's going to play on then, I suppose. Okay, well, if we're going to go without a re, which it seems like Joshua is not going to restart on this map, then I'm going to go ahead and introduce the players. Off to the right side of the map, we have Joshuamari310 playing as the yellow Delta. He's got a bit of a bad spawn, sort of long paths here, not very great spread, but he's going to play on, even though I thought he was going to forfeit. And then off to the left of the map, we have Redzalio playing in the green Gamma with a little bit of a better spawn, but not by too much. They both have fairly long distances. I think that Redzalio has a bit of a better spread area over here compared to Joshua's sort of miss-spread area. There's not really much going except for right here. But at this one, it looks like they're a bit further apart, so we'll see if this map lasts longer and they don't run into each other very quickly, but you never know. Sometimes I've seen players scout directly towards the other one and start an early war when they didn't mean to. So hopefully the maps are fair, I promise. Just keep playing. So hopefully these players can put on a good performance here. We actually had to count the last game as a dud, and it is currently 1-0 in Joshua's favor. It looks like he was going to 2-0, but since Redzalio has been saying that he's pretty bad at early game wars and is generally better in the late game, we'll hopefully get a late game war here so he can show his better performance and have a better chance against Joshua. Apparently now, because I told him their spawns have similar lengths, he now knows where Red's spawn is. I don't even understand how that's possible. Maybe he thinks he's over there. Or what else has similar lengths? I feel like this is fairly similar, maybe a bit shorter. Maybe he thinks this is the spawn. Maybe he thinks that's the spawn. I have no idea. You don't know where he spawned. Okay, so apparently Joshua does know. I have no idea how he managed to figure that out. I'm not going to confirm it for him at the moment. But apparently he knows exactly where Redzalio spawned. Which is unfortunate, I suppose. Joshua with the second power plant already. Redzalio doing the thing he does, which is making all the factories first before building the second power plant. Both players spreading pretty efficiently. They know they're far apart. At least Joshua knows they're far apart because he knows Redzalio's spawn. I honestly find that pretty amazing that he knew exactly where that was by me saying that he had similar length spawn. That is pretty impressive. Gotta have a really strong knowledge of the game to be able to predict a spawn that accurately. Saying it's kind of obvious for him. Well, that's just playing the game smart, I guess. It looks like Redzalio is going to have a better build-up anyway. This is a sick power plant spot right here. It's got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 connections. Is that correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow. 8 connections is pretty strong. And as well, that's going to be his third power plant. If he can get that up and running, which he does immediately, then he's automatically got a much stronger economy than this right here, which is 3 power plants with, let's see, 5 connections, 6 connections, 5 connections. So, compared to 5 connections, 5 connections, 8 connections. And Redzalio continuing to swarm around like a busy hive of bees or ants or some kind of bug that does a lot of work. I don't know, don't ask me. Whereas Joshua, completely knowing exactly where Redzalio is spreading out in exactly that direction. Now, Redzalio has seen this 501 on the way, and he's getting ready for it. He's retreated a bunch of units. He's sending a 2K that direction, which Joshua is getting prepared for. Looks like they're going to fight a bit of a two-front war here in these two areas, and it should be interesting. I'm actually going to move on into the center. Hopefully these players aren't too bothered by it, but should be a bit of a better angle. Looks like Redzalio's got these units here, and he could actually push directly to that capital if he knew where it was. Joshua should have the amount of units there needed to protect against a 5K, or a 4K even. But you never know. He could. It looks like he's got enough coming on the way, though, so. But he will get at least a knowledge of where that is. With this 4K, he should be able to at least see that capital there. Now, actually, Joshua's 4th power plant here, he sort of put up in a bit of a haste, and actually, it's sort of risky. It could be taken easily by Redzalio here if he's overstacked. If he gets a higher number here, he can just push over and take that. And that'd be a huge waste of resources for Joshua. So now Redzalio sees that capital, and he knows that he can easily get there if he stacks for it. Now it looks like Joshua is going to retreat here and try to trap this 6K, and meanwhile Redzalio going forward with a 10K, going to go for that power plant. Joshua forced to turn the power plant into a fort, and now it becomes a really good fight for Joshua, definitely forcing Redzalio to retreat there. Redzalio pushing forward with a 6K, forcing another fort. But he needs to retreat off of that now. Ooh. Joshua with a very smart trap. But he should retreat that there and then continue retreating. I don't know. He shouldn't be taking this fight. There you go. He's just moving it onto that tile. Looks like he's stacking up further to the north, trying to see if he can find another angle of attack. But these players are sort of going to be locked into this war right on this front for a while. Just trying to find a different angle. Joshua playing hard defense here from 3 different tiles. Not really able to find a way to push back just yet, but forcing these forts and just sitting behind them. But this 8 power plant is extremely strong and is helping Redzalio mass up a lot of units for this fight. He actually might be going for a 4th power plant here. That's an interesting idea. Looks like he's going to do it. Nope, maybe not. Uh-oh, 20K. Looks like it's headed straight for that capital, and that is dangerous. If he can kill this 10K, that capital will be defenseless. I actually have no idea how many units are on the capital, but it could be not enough. Redzalio forced to build, artillery. That artillery is really strong. Uh-oh. He's outnumbered. That's bad. forced to turn that artillery back into a fort. That is a huge waste of resources for Redzalio. Really unfortunate that that happened. Forced to build a fort where he had an artillery, wasting about 4,000 units. Still didn't get that fourth power plant up. Production will not increase today. Neither player spreading. They're sending all of their units into the fight here. We got micro wars up at the top and at the bottom. Both players not making really any progress just yet. Sort of just an intense back and forth sort of game. Looking for traps, looking for any way through they can. Redzalio could just retreat this and build this power plant right now for a huge production spike if he needed to. It might put him down shortly in the stacking wars, but he would gain everything back in terms of how much production he gains by building a power plant there. Also, I just want to take this time to apologize. If my voice sounds a bit tired, these games are being played at around 4:30 in the morning due to these players' schedules. So that is the other reason why the co-caster is not here. And it's the reason why if I'm sounding a little bit quiet or tired, it is 4:30 in the morning. But definitely always up for seeing a good game of Risky Strats. Oh, we got a double push from Joshua up at the top. 25,000 looking to take down that fort with a distraction 5,000 up at the top, which he should immediately retreat. Redzalio forced to retreat another 7,000. That artillery there definitely helping to keep this spot safe. An artillery on a fort as well. And it looks like Redzalio might be spreading out to the top, maybe going for a fourth power plant with about 4,500. He could do a power plant and a bunch of factories and up his production in that way, which could be a really strong move if he can manage to not die. But it looks like he's going to get pushed in on by about a 19k here and a 20k up at the top. If he loses that, yep, he made sure to turn that into a fort, and he should retreat off the spot. Yep, going for that fourth power plant. Really risky strat, if I can make that joke again and again. That's a really risky strat to do there. Whoa, 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 whoa. That fort and artillery combo is so strong, but not strong enough. It looks like... Yep, that's bad. He's going to lose that artillery. He's going to lose that artillery badly. Oh, wait, he has another artillery. Wow. That was sneaky. That was a really strong tactic from Redzalio. I didn't even catch that. He got a second artillery and defended his main artillery. Joshua was actually taunting, saying wrong again, but he wasn't wrong. That second artillery saved his life and pushed Joshua back. And now we actually might see this fourth power plant come into action. He might be able to save this game. He might be able to continue stacking and outstacking since he's spread to a fourth power plant, whereas Joshua's still stuck on 3. But Joshua pushing into this fort, which is an interesting attempt considering there is still an artillery buffing that. But he's outnumbered by too much and he's going to back off, which concerns me. I'm not really sure that that was the right move. Attacking off of this is not the right move again. He doesn't have enough units once these reinforcements get there, but he's not going to reinforce. What's he doing? He's fumbling his units around. He doesn't know where to go. He's retreating back off of all of his land. He's losing all of his artilleries and forts. Maybe pushing this fourth power plant wasn't the best idea. He's getting outnumbered and getting pushed into. He does have this defensive artillery, and this defensive artillery is still running. This spot is actually extremely well defended. Ooh, that is a fort and artillery combo, but there's also an artillery on this side, so it evens out. Joshua forced to retreat back. Redzalio once again pushing all of the units to the front, getting ready for another push, and he's spreading back for what looks like a 5th power plant. That is an interesting decision. But at this point, he's got the units to do it, as long as he keeps using this 4th power plant to send units forward. This spot is so well defended, and I don't think Joshua knows about this extra artillery just yet. So if he attacks that, he might know about this artillery, but not the second one. So a single artillery will not win this fight, especially if he turns this into a fort during the attack. But there's an artillery here from Joshua, probably already been here, but whenever he decides to attack with it, we'll have to see if it works out for him. I apologize for the mic silence. We're having a bit of a discussion. But it looks like we are going to be able to continue on with the game. Redzalio spreading out, getting a massive economy advantage. And honestly, I'm not sure what Joshua's doing. He's just now starting to go for that 4th power plant. It looks like he's... Actually, he did get a 4th, but he's just now going to get a 5th. It looks like he's a little bit late to the party and could lose the game because of it. He probably won't have the units to push in anytime soon, but he's going to try anyway, with an artillery up against a fort with 2 artilleries backing it up. That is probably not going to work out unless he has a massive numbers advantage. Let's take a look. He doubled the numbers, and he's definitely going to be able to take that, even with the double artillery defense. Joshua's saying he knows how to calculate, and he's going to go ahead and take those artilleries now. And just try to push down everything that Redzalio loves. Taking both artilleries should turn them into forts, but it looks like he's not going to turn them into forts. He's going to make a run for that capital if he's smart. He knows the direction of it, but he hasn't actually gotten that far just yet. He's heading off in that direction with as many units as possible, taking over the entire economy over here, turning that power plant into a fort, being able to push down all of this area. Redzalio losing a lot. All of this economy spreading left him weak on the front. Not exactly sure what he was planning. He needed to continue stacking. Joshua going for another power plant here. That capital hopefully is well defended. Looks like it's well defended enough to keep Redzalio from going for it. Rather, keep Joshua. I apologize. Redzalio apparently calling GG. It looks like Joshua just has too many units, is going to push straight into that capital. And there is nothing that he can do about it. Maybe early GG, but Joshua does have 49%. He did take everything from Redzalio. So it looks like this game is over. I apologize for all the dead silence. We're having some admin discussions during the game. Hopefully it doesn't interrupt the replay too much. But it looks like Joshua's going to win this series 2-0 after finishing this game. Technically 3-0 if you count the second game. That was not counted. Looks like Joshua's stacking up for the final blow to that capital. Probably going to go with a double artillery assault. And finish off Redzalio. Redzalio should just forfeit, but it looks like he's going to play the long game and wait for the capital to die. Alright, looks like that's it. We're going to get a GG, probably a forfeit right here. So GG to both players. Well played, Joshua. You earned your spot up in the semifinals. Good luck in the semifinals. Are we going to see a forfeit here? Or are we going to see him take the capital? Looks like they're just going to have a small micro war here. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . And here we go, the finishing blow. 60k with an artillery onto the capital of Redzalio. A 97%, 98% victory for Joshua here. 3 artilleries, an easy destruction, and we get a GG. So I apologize for the delays in that game and the muting. Hopefully it was fairly entertaining after all of that, and congratulations to Joshua. Hopefully I can catch you guys in the next series. See you then.